What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. It's now seeing the beginning of the end for former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And this newest update is we got Congress coming out, calling her out for her corruption on that J6 committee that she had structured, guys. That strong Democratic bias, guys. I'm excited to get in the clip, see exactly what's going on here, how Nancy Pelosi is now having her day as Congress is calling her out. So to get straight to the update, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end. And also, YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But let's get straight to the news. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button for me and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
There's a new House resolution proposed. It's going to reverse the findings on the subpoenas for Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, Mark Meadows, and Dan Scavino, who were hunted by J6, and they go into the whole J6 committee, Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney, about how immoral and how politically motivated it was. We're going to read the documents to you. These are official government documents, first presented by our favorite gal, Julie Kelly, on Twitter. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. This is a kind of a pushback on Merrick Garland being held in contempt of Congress. So these are other people who were held in contempt of Congress and sent to jail. And then Merrick Garland is not sent to jail. So this is the pushback. Let's read. Here's the first one, Julie Kelly. Here's part of the new resolution declaring the J6 Select Committee illegitimate and seeking to rescind subpoenas for Steve Bannon, Peter Navarro, Mark Meadows, and Dan Scavino. The resolution also asks Congress to nullify the vote to hold all four in contempt of Congress. Here's the actual legal document. It is the sense of the House of Representatives that the Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol was illegitimate, that the conclusions and findings presented were predetermined due to the committee's partisan nature. Now, this is no different than picking a jury where you don't want political partisanship to make the ultimate decision. And that's what this is claiming happened. And that the courts should set aside any convictions or commute any sentences stemming from contempt reports issued by the Select Committee. That is, number two, the subpoenas issued on September 23rd, 2021, October 6th, 2021, and February of 2022 for Stephen Bannon, Mark Meadows, Daniel Scavino Jr., and Peter Navarro are hereby rescinded if they agree to this. Part three, House Resolution 730, recommending that the House of Representatives find Stephen Bannon in contempt of Congress, adopted in 2021, is withdrawn, dismissed, and otherwise ended and concluded without further proceedings or enforcement. House Resolution 1037, recommending that the House of Representatives find Peter Navarro. That's just going through the individual names. Okay, now let's go to the second part of this. This is the resolution is sponsored by Rep. Eric Burleson. Now I'll show you a picture of him. I just put up a quick picture of his Twitter here, Eric Burleson, just so you can see what he looks like, because I haven't heard of him before. So as I learn, you guys learn. So far, the resolution has 24 GOP co-sponsors, including Thomas Massey, Margie Taylor Greene, Andy Biggs, Jim Banks, and Anna Paulina Luna out of Florida. We need every GOP vote to make this happen. Just a few issues with the J6 committee are detailed here. And this is the final part of our document. This one's kind of wordy, but it tells you everything you need to know about what they're getting at here by all these whereases. So if they can get them to agree to this, the Republicans to agree to this, whereas the Select Committee was deficient in its composition. So this is the very makeup of a committee that's supposed to always be bipartisan. Okay. House Resolution 503, the resolution establishing the committee stated, quote, the Speaker shall appoint 13 members to the Select Committee, 5 of whom shall be appointed after consultation with the minority leader. That would be Kevin McCarthy. Whereas Speaker Pelosi refused to seat Republican members named by Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy to the Select Committee, resulting in a solely partisan exercise determined to vilify President Trump and his advisors for the January 6th breach on the U.S. Capitol. So just by design, in Pelosi disobeying Kevin McCarthy, she broke their own rules. Whereas Speaker Pelosi refused to the selections of Minority Leader McCarthy and named only Representatives Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger to the Select Committee. Those are the only two Republicans, leaving the committee with 9 members rather than the required 13. So once again, they broke their own rules. They could not get any Republicans but Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney. And we already know this is like selecting a jury based on your politics. We already know what their conclusion was going to be before they even joined the committee. And then it just became a witch hunt. And this is not how you want to run your government. If it is, then when we put together select committees against Nancy Pelosi, how will she feel having 9 hardcore Republicans going against her and 2 Democrats that already agree with the proposition against her? Whereas the select committee held hearings, issued subpoenas, and published a flawed report without the number of members required by House Resolution 503. So it's already illegal by their claim. Whereas shortly before hearings begun, the select committee named Representative Cheney as, quote, vice chair and operated without a ranking minority member. Remember, this is all the press and all the media. Nancy Pelosi kept underlining, this is a bipartisan committee. This is a bipartisan committee. It was anything but, bipartisan would mean your partisanship. Some would be for Trump and some would be against. Otherwise, it's monopartisan. Whereas the position of vice chair is distinct and different from a ranking minority member as clearly understood by House Rules Conference and caucus rules and precedent. So even naming her vice chair, they'd have to replace her with yet another person to be part of the committee. Whereas House Resolution 503 specifically required the chair of the select committee to, quote, consult with the ranking minority member, unquote, in certain circumstances. Whereas House Resolution 503 included the requirement that the chair of the select committee could only issue a subpoena, quote, upon consultation with the ranking minority member. This is just going into how all of the unfairness of it has been spelled out now. And now the Republicans, regardless of what this committee came up with, this is not about if you agree with their conclusion. That's just rank partisanship, but also it is pragmatism when you have a preferred end and then you'll cheat by all the means getting up to that end. That's what Democrats do. We want to be a rule of law, and these are the rules. They said you broke all of these rules, even if you had your preferred outcome, that they have to agree, because if you break these rules for one side, when Trump gets into office, we have to break them the other way. They're going to have set the precedent for us to go after them. What do you guys think? Do they finally get Nancy Pelosi on this one for one of the most partisan public witch hunts ever against Trump and these 4, even now as they try to let Merrick Garland have a pass, even though he too is in contempt of Congress for not releasing her recordings, where the guy in the recording said things about Biden, and we don't trust that they were not redacted or were not edited in some way. Well, let me know what you guys think.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave the original video link down in the description box below. For those who want to go over there and check that out, I also got to go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, guys. I told you, it's the beginning of the end that we're seeing for Nancy Pelosi, guys. Finally, she's being held accountable for some of her corruptions. And we're seeing the way she formed and structured that select committee in order to come after Donald Trump, with that political witch hunt, him and those 4 others. And now it's all coming back on her, right in her face. Nancy Pelosi has got away with crime and corruption for long enough, guys, far too long. They let Merrick Garland slide on his contempt of Congress. Now they're coming after Nancy Pelosi's partisan, select committee that was illegitimately brought about. She did not go through the proper measures, didn't even follow her own rules in order to, structure this committee. The way that this committee was structured, it definitely leaned more towards the Democratic Party. So, political bias was definitely there. This was supposed to be a bipartisan committee, working together from both angles to, come to a ruling. But no, this was unilateral. One party was working, the Democrats, and she recruited 2 Republicans that don't even really count. And now, just like all those other rogue justices that we've seen, coming after Donald Trump, catching catching big backfires, slam downs on their case, Jack Smith, Fani Willis, Tisha James, guys, all those folks who come after Donald Trump, this weaponization of the DOJ, legal lawfare, weaponizing their office in order to come after him and interfere with the 2024 elections, guys. We're seeing them all, having their day. And that's why I'm not surprised to see it's Nancy Pelosi's day. I mean, it was only a matter of time before, it all caught up to her. You can only dish out so much dirt, you're trying to seek to do harm on someone. They've done nothing to you before it all spins back around and comes back your way. And that's why we're seeing it being dropped off at Nancy Pelosi's doorstep today, guys. Definitely excited to see where this progresses. That J6 Select Committee of Nancy Pelosi's was biased, politically motivated from the time they were, brought about in the beginning and structured all the way to when they were making their decision and verdict, guys. It's time for them to pay, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know all your thoughts. You guys think Donald Trump should come back and do the same thing we're seeing Nancy Pelosi do, where he orchestrates and brings about a very partisan committee in order to, weaponize them on the other side, guys? Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know. Do you think they deserve that, to feel that feeling also? Or do you think he should let them slide? Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know what you're thinking. And also make sure you guys hit that share button, guys. Share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible, guys. Share the truth. Also make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost one thing, you guys. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week.